camera operator, our lovely Shi Jie behind the camera. She's very skillful and I love working with her. So you guys are going to see her quite often after today. So yes, people are saying stop asking for her number. You can still follow my personal account. I have no problem with that. And teacher good English, thank you. And thank you, Hillcrest, for defending me. Thank you so much. Hello to Arthur from Texas, USA. Ooh, happy 2 days after election day. Happy, have a happy day. And also wish your wish come true. Let me know what is your wish concerning or relating to, election day. 选举 election, 选举 选 is like select. 举 carries the meaning of held up. So if you select someone and held them up to your shoulder, you're making him the leader of something. So 选举 election, 选举. She's all over the place in her own way, which is good. That's true. I'm all over the place, and I'm glad I get to show you all the scenery across China. See, I've been just traveling from Yunnan province, which is quite the tropical area. Yunnan 天气很热, it's very hot. However, here I am in Qingdao where I have to wear a coat or a cape. Oh, let me show you my cape. My cape is very Chinese style cape. I have a lovely decoration back here. And I feel like a large butterfly, a rather black one, but still a black butterfly. So yes, that's my cap. Very fun. And Sukel, good morning to you too. Happy to have you here. And we have Kishan saying your accent is really good. Can you tell more about May 4th movement, history of Qingdao? Yes, the May 4th movement is strongly connected to Qingdao. As you can see here, we get to see a lot of different styles of architectures. There are, of course, the modern ones that's constructed after, let's say, rather recently, but there have also been many architecture with a rather European style, or you can see the trace of German architecture on the edges of the building. And that is because during the First World War, actually Qingdao was kind of colonialized by Germans. And that is why they designed the city, or helped design the city. Well, help is a strange word to use, but back then they did and constructed a lot of things and leave their trace and marks here. And that is why Qingdao is the probably only city in China that has experienced directly not only the Second World War, but also the First World War. And the May 4th movement was, let's say, a time that people decided that since the end of World War I, we want, or the Chinese people then want Qingdao back. That is why they said 还我青岛, give me back my Qingdao, or give us back our Qingdao. That was the main pursuit at that time, but apparently World War II happened really soon, and the chaotic situation wrapped around the entire couple of dozens of years after that, and that has been a very serious part of the history. And after that, there has been discussion whether or not we should have that mark or have that impression still here in Qingdao. Should we still allow these kind of architectures to exist? But people decided that it's not the architectures to blame. It's not, let's say, the concrete or objective world's problem. That is why we are still having a lot of these buildings around, and it started a very unique character of the city. So quite lovely. Okay, so let's continue to move. Here we are entering the area of 老舍公园, which is quite interesting. And we get to see people relaxing here, people enjoying their lives in this roadside park, 街边公园, 街边 roadside park 公园. This is also I would say, kind of a specialty here in Qingdao. That is because we know this is 丘陵地带, 丘陵地带, a hilly land, 丘陵地带. 丘陵 would be hilly or mountainous, so 丘陵地带. 青岛是一个丘陵，有丘陵地带啊 which is why when you are constructing or to allocate a park in the city, it is not that easy to find a flat area, to find a large space that is not on the hilly area. That is why on the roads, excuse me, on the roadside part, 在路多狭长的公园啊 this long parks in the shape of a stripe. 长条形的公园 quite interesting. So yes, Arthur saying thank you. You're very welcome. Nicole saying greetings from Argentina. It's good to see you teaching us again. Very happy to see you too. As always, if you guys like the live stream, please like and share and comment as much as possible. And if you have any questions, anything at all, you want to ask about the Chinese language, Chinese culture, anything about Qingdao, you can ask. I may not know everything, strike that. I don't know everything, but I will try to answer them as much as possible. So please do that. We have a call saying nice, and we have Dinch saying good morning and beautiful city, like our Nagpur city in India is known green city. Thanks for teaching Chinese language. It's difficult to me. I will learn it little later. Yes, you can learn it little by little. And since you're talking about the green city here in Qingdao, Qing in Chinese is and Dao is island. So if we translate it word by word, Qingdao would be green island, Qingdao, Qingdao. And a little bit later, I'm going to show you a more signature view of Qingdao, because people say that the most significant feature of Qingdao is 红砖绿树碧海蓝天. So 红 we know is red, 红 砖 would be brick, 砖 红砖 or 红瓦 红砖红瓦 brick. If you take a look, you can see that on that top of the roof, that's orange-ish and red-ish brick, and all over there you can see red brick as well. So that would be the red brick part, 红砖 绿 would be green, 绿树 green trees. Of course, there are many green trees, but for autumn time, it's probably a little bit yellow and different shades of green. Let's call it that. 绿树, so 红砖绿树, 碧海蓝天 would be greenish blue sea and blue, clear, beautiful sky. So 红砖绿树, 碧海蓝天. That is the signature in Qingdao. And being a coastal area, being an island, sea island city, the beautiful red brick as well as the green tree makes a significant part of the beautiful city. 红砖绿树碧海蓝天. You can try learn that and remember that. 红砖绿树碧海蓝天. And Qingdao is a very pleasant city, I think, to my knowledge. And you can see that people are enjoying their life quite so much. This is people standing in the line, getting pastry. 他们在买面点，是不是？面点 getting pastry. They're getting their Chinese cakes. They're standing in the line. Many of them are still wearing a mask because they are staying rather close to each other. And actually a month ago, there has been a tiny little comeback of the coronavirus here in Qingdao. There has been several cases, and that is why the city decided to test its over 10 million people in just 5 days, and they managed to do that. So after that, people started to show their green QR code, showcasing that they have already been tested and they haven't go to any high-risk areas anymore, showcasing that they are safe from the coronavirus, and that's when the city's life started to come back to normal. So now it's again no longer mandatory, and it's again 1 month after we've seen zero new case of the coronavirus pandemic or the coronavirus triggered disease, and the city's life is basically turning back to normal. We say 恢复正常, 恢复正常, turning back to normal. But still, if you'd rather stay standing in the line or stay close to others, it is recommended to wear a mask. But if you're walking on the street in a rather open space area like I myself, it's not mandatory to do so. So there's that. And yeah, 你没戴口罩吗? That is the question I was trying to answer. It's not mandatory, but you can wear one if you want to. And also if you go to rather populated areas or rather crowded areas, you're still recommended to wear a mask. 去人多的地方建议戴口罩。如果你要去人多的地方 if you are to go to rather populous areas, 建议 recommended, it is recommended to wear a mask. 建议戴口罩，建议戴口罩。Hello to Tony and Gabby, 打个招呼。Hi, happy to have you here. And we have Sukel asking, dear teacher, you look so sweet, your dress is so gorgeous, thank you so much. And how much their winter in China? Are you talking about how long winter lasts here in China? It again depends on which part of the country you are. We know China is a vast country. For example, in Xinjiang, only in Xinjiang, in the northern part, you would experience a really long and cold and let's say harsh winter, whereas in the southern part of the area of the region, as well as in the southern part of China, for example, in Hainan, you would not experience winter or a proper winter at all. So it really depends. But thank you for the question. And Arthur saying, beautiful cape. Thank you. I like my and Nika saying, nice cape with phoenix. That's true. 凤凰, 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 凤凰. 凤凰. Oh, you guys are showering me with lovely comments. Thank you so much. Should I show it again? 要再看一下吗？看一下。Good morning to Hussein. Good morning would be 早上好，早上好，早上好。And 早上好 to Sha as well. That I've already answered why I'm not wearing a mask. And Jessie saying, I am devoted to this page. Thank you, Jessie. And visit to Qingdao. Yes, 中午好 to Cigar. Then very happy to have you here. And Nam saying, 老师今天很漂亮. Thank you so much. 带我们去逛街嘛? Yes, we are touring this art And 你可以去访问一些那边的人吗? Yeah, I plan to do so. Actually, the reason because I saw a lovely art museum, 艺术博物馆 upon there. So how about we try visit them? 艺术博物馆，嘉木艺术博物馆，我们来进来看一下。So, this is nice. We can learn these words. 展览 exhibition, 文创 would be art-related creation and stationary creation. 阅读 reading, 阅读 reading. 讲座 lecture, 讲座 lecture. 会友 meet new friends, meet new friends. 会友 cafe, this is an easy one, coffee. And 回忆 memory, memory. As you can see, this would be 嘉木艺术博物馆. 艺术 is art and 博物馆, 博物馆 would be a museum. Let's go check in this area because I think it's very artsy and really quiet and nice. If you take a look at here, we Chinese people have this saying 世外桃源, but we also have this concept of 大隐隐于市. It means that if you are in a rather lively, crowded, and even a little bit too noisy kind of center of the city, it is still possible for you to enjoy a rather quiet kind of lifestyle, and you stay there a little bit like hide yourself in the rush, in the buzz, hustle and bustle kind of world, and you create this little corner that is quiet and beautiful. Let's go check in what are some exhibitions they have here. These are some posters. Oh, this is very nice. So the Chinese saying 七年之痒, this is actually not this character. The character was itchiness. So 七年之痒 is talking about in a romantic relationship, especially for a couple or for a married couple. After 7 years, you would have the 7-year itch in your marriage because you're too close to each other, too familiar with each other. There's no feeling of freshness anymore, and you kind of feel like, things are getting a little bit boring if you don't nurture your relationship good enough. That is why Chinese people say 七年之痒, the 7th year itchiness. You got this itchiness in your marriage, you have to scratch a little bit. However, they're changing it into 七年之痒. Yang would be nourishment. So cultivating for 7 years, making it grand and making it prosperous. A very interesting play of words. See? Already something in the yard that are in exhibition. This is in Chinese we say 28自行车是吗? 28 is the 28, it's the size. I think it's 28 inch, possibly. And this is a ancient time bicycle with this. Oops, not really sure with this. This is fun because when I was a little kid, my dad used to ride a bike like that and have placed me right here as a sit. I can sit there and using it as a seat, and it's very interesting. 这是梁，我们说这个坐在梁上可以带人。And if you sit over here, since they have to get onto the bike from the rear end, they can kick you off the bike really fast. So don't sit there, sit in the front. Yes, 七年之痒 versus 七年之痒. And so Kel saying, if I want to visit China, what should I do, teacher? How can settle in China? Well, I would recommend you to do a little bit research because China is a vast country. You want to research on where you want to stay. It's possible that in the rather populous, metropolis like Beijing and Shanghai, the major cities, it's also possible you want to visit the rather second or third tier cities where the life is cozy and quiet. 所以呢，你要先做功课 do research, do your homework, 做功课 Probably you want to stay here in Qingdao. You want to find a lovely little house just like this one, the very typical red wall, red brick kind of house, and enjoy a peaceful, lovely life. It's also possible. Jose saying, I am from Mexico. Hello, teacher. Happy to have you here. And Tassin saying, you don't answer my question. You can ask that again. Sorry, because it's possible that I didn't see them. There are many lovely messages. If I'm not answering your question, you can send it over and over to make sure that I see them again. So yes, please do that. And here, I think I am looking at the exhibition hall of this museum. In 嘉木艺术博物馆, you can see that it's not a huge exhibition hall, and this is actually adapted from a ancient or old-time swimming pool. You can see that is a swimming pool over there, and they transformed the swimming pool into a art gallery. Swimming pool would be 游泳池, 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 a swimming pool into an art gallery. You can go inside and enjoying the exhibition. And I learned from the pretext that this is a dialogue, 对话 dialogue between two artists, a painter who is significant in or who is famous for creating 版画 版画 would be the printing kind of pictures, whereas making pictures. Whereas the other artist is a poet, and the poet is having a dialogue with the painter. They are having this kind of, we say, 艺术的碰撞, the collision, the sparkles between them, inspired them to create this exhibition. Let's maybe to check out these paintings. Here we are. 这些作品都很有童趣啊，童趣 ，a sense a positive kind of childish. They're trying to paint a picture of what the 这应该是一个学生 ，the student，a 学生 student，and 我家也有 I have it at interesting name. Jessie saying quite smart to use the pool like this. Yes, this makes you feel very modernized way of decorating or arranging the exhibition. And that's not the only thing. I think I also see a bookstore, a tiny little bookshop over there. We can check that out as well. And this is a very typical Qingdao little yard. You would see that people can stay here and enjoying their lives a little bit here. And these trees, this is one with the camellia kind. 山茶树. And the funny thing is, it's already autumn and winter time, but you can see there are some flowers blooming. 开花了，秋天开花了，神奇。看到花了吗？ Did you see that lovely, beautiful flower? Nicole saying beautiful. I agree. These paintings are really nice. And Sukel saying, what type of visa should I get if I want to settle in China? I think you have to get work visa, right? 工作签证, work visa. You have to find a employer that is qualified to provide you with a work visa so you can stay here in China, not just a travel visa or student visa. Student visa would allow you to stay as well, but you gotta find a school first. So I would recommend you with a student visa, 学生签证, or a 工作签证, work visa. 学生签证, or 工作签证. That's my recommendation. 梅麦克 saying 这个地方很漂亮. I agree. This is a very beautiful, lovely place, very quiet and soothing. And Sukri asking 老师青岛的本地特色美食是什么? I think you can take a guess, and I'm pretty sure you're going to guess it right, because Qingdao, like I said, is really close to the ocean, close to sea area. That is why 海鲜是本地特色，海鲜是特色。海鲜 seafood, 海鲜 seafood would be the local specialty. In a lot of restaurants, they even provide you with a service that you get the seafood yourself. You can either hunt some fishes from the sea, some fish from the sea, or you can buy some from the seafood market, and you carry your raw material into the restaurant and ask them to cook the food for you. So this is something special in Qingdao. 可以自带食材啊，自备食材 prepare food, prepare the raw material yourself. 然后饭馆负责加工。饭馆 or 饭店 restaurant is responsible for cooking them for you. It's quite cheap and quite fresh, very delicious. I would recommend you to do that. And yes, let's go check out. 上帝保佑你 very nice, thank you. If not coming to teach, then contact your local embassy for which visa. Yes, that is something important to note as well. And if you take a look at the tree next to me, this is also a tree with 100-year with itself. 这是一棵百年银杏啊，百年 100 year 百年 And one thing very important that I hope you guys can learn is this plate. Because here are two very important characters here. 免费参观. So 免费 would be free of charge. If you see any of these two characters in any places in China, you can enter without paying. So very important to note. And 参观 would be visit. 费参观 visit free of charge. Let's go. 我们去参观这个免费参观的地方吧。Let's go check to visit place. 免费参观。 This is a really lovely building. Hello to Jeff. Happy to have you here. Jeff saying 美丽 beautiful. Yes, 美丽 beautiful. I really love it when the nature is perfectly with human creations. As you can see, the 爬山虎 is the plant that is climbing all over the building, surrounding the building, having a perfect blending or mix together, making it really beautiful. You can enjoy the nature while you're still enjoying the comfortness of living in a human created society. Wang Chuck saying great China, and Zhang Xiyong saying 有书吗？文字写在竹子上。Yes, there are some books in the bookstore. We can go check out the bookstore as well. And I think the owner of the bookshop is also the owner of the art gallery, so we can ask them and have a little discussion with what inspired them to build such a lovely art gallery. So let's go in. In the meantime, let me check out some comments from our China plus America page. Didn't get a lot of comments previously, but let's see what are your comments now. Oh, many of you are here. I'm sorry I neglected you a little bit, but thank you so much for being here. I'm saying hello to Bernice and to Nazari. Hello to Alfredo, saying hola to you too. And Sudip, Steve, Carlos, thank you so much for sharing this live stream. And good evening to Andrina from Colorado, USA, loving this live stream and the dual language presentation. Next best thing to actually getting to visit China. Thank you so much. That is the sweetest thing, makes my day. So yes, let's enter this lovely bookshop. I am right. This art gallery is related to this bookshop. As you can see, these are some posters showcasing the exhibitions they have held during previous times. And since 2013, they started to held these exhibitions free of charge for local artists or for artworks related to Qingdao, and that is why they're calling themselves 彩 Qingdao, the colorful Qingdao, with different artists. Sometimes if a painter wants to have an exhibition but have no money, they can have the exhibition here free of charge, and if any visitor wanted to come here and visit, they can visit as well. And according to the information I see in front of the building, it's a very unique art gallery because it's 365 days a year, so they open to public every day and it's completely of charge. 全年无休, that's what we say in Chinese. 全年无休, all year round with no rest day, no off day. 全年无休, 全年无休, 免费 free of charge, 免费, 完全免费, very free of charge. And I think there are many beautiful, hopefully I'm not interrupting people who are reading here, so I'm whispering a little bit, but yes, this is where you can stay. You can stay here, enjoying the artwork, as well as maybe have a cup of coffee. Really nice. 您好，请问你是老板吗？您好，您好。哎，你好啊！我们刚才在美术馆看了一下，美术馆和书店是一起的。
是的。
那跟我们的观众打个招呼吧，怎么称呼？
大家好，我叫谭瑞，是江宁美术馆的负责人。这一位呢是我们的薛馆长。
So we have Miss Tan and Mr. Xue here. They are the manager as well as the, let's say, people responsible for the art gallery as well as this lovely bookstore. 我们看这个书店非常有特色啊。It's very with its special, let's say, feature. And 这边这个是一个钟吗？
这是一个
家具，德式家具，
就是一个德国的家具，
所以
非常的古老。
所以整个这个书店
就是这个楼其实是一个
德国的
小楼，
就是德国人当时设计和建造，
有100年的历史是吗？我刚才看到。Okay, so we see that this architecture, as well as some of the items and some of the furnitures here, are with the history of over 100 years, and it has been what we talked about earlier, that is, it's with a lot of German trace and impressions here. It was built with German styles, and let's have a closer look. 看一下，
好的，
谢谢。这边的书是怎么选的？是自己选的吗？
这个呢，我们选书也是比较有特色的，这是跟我们这个荒岛书店的品牌有关系的，所以我们可以看到大量的这个民国时期的作家的和民国时期的一些个作品都可以在这里呈现出来。而另外一个特色呢，就是有很多书啊是跟青岛有关系的，当年在青岛这个一些个德战时期的历史，然后跟德国的建筑，跟德国在青岛的这种建筑有关系的等等的，所以在这些书里边呢，也可以找到一些青岛的影子。
谢谢。So we know that I asked a little bit about their way of choosing the books as well as decorating the bookstore. As you can see, many of the books are related to the theme of the history of Qingdao, the culture of Qingdao, as well as featuring or let's say documenting some of the history of the Republic of China period of time, because Huangdao Shudian, this isolated island bookstore, has also been a special as well as famous bookstore in Qingdao back in that time. So it's kind of like re-inviting the spirit of the art of people back there, and re-inviting the spirit of the scholars in the Republic of China period of time. It's making me speak rather quiet. Let's see if you guys have any questions to ask, especially related to this bookstore, because we have the people responsible for it here. They can answer your questions if you have any. 我们这个还有2层是吗？可以上去看一下。Okay, so there's also a second floor, and let's see if we can go check that out as well. Hello to Damon. And so Cal saying great library. Actually, this is not a library. This is a bookstore. 是一家书店 bookstore. They sell books and they have all these artworks as well as stationaries. 文具啊，还有文具。So 图书馆 library. This one is a bookstore. 书店。If you think about it, if I stay here with this and start reading, I will feel very educated and sophisticated myself. Even probably I am only reading a comic book. I still feel fancy. This is the setting you feel fancy when you study and when you read. As well as this lantern, 这个灯。And this would be a radio, I would guess. A radio, 收音机。And a rather old style 信纸 writing paper. Very fancy. Let's go upstairs and see what are there. Put it back. Okay, let's go. Quite lovely. So Cal saying great library as well. 你好 Sing. 我的老师很漂亮，而且很聪明。Aren't you sweet? 更多美术馆 more art galleries. Yes, there are many art galleries, and I think personally, I believe this bookstore, 这个书店也很有艺术气息。Bookstore is also with a very unique artsy style. And on the second floor, we can see more exhibitions. We can see more artworks in the bookstore. This is the kind of bookstore I would like to visit. This is the second floor. 这些有一些是商品吗？是卖的吗？
对，这是我们在 售的一些文创艺术品上面的都是我们采青岛的一些个典型的画作，然后我们把它呢都做在这个石板上啊，所以喜欢青岛的这个风景画的呢，都可以把它带走。
Okay, so for these artworks, you can see that they are with the theme of colorful Qingdao, Cai Qingdao. The colorful is, or the character Cai is related to, of course, the color of Qingdao, the one we talked about, the 红砖绿树碧海蓝天 we talked about as the watercolor painting itself, 水彩画 and they painted on a plate so you can take it back, decorate your house, have your own tiny little taste of Qingdao at home. I would get one later. Okay, so let's continue to walk and see what are there. I see a lot of beautiful paintings as well. 水彩画 And here with these, so in ancient time, Qingdao was just a tiny little island with a lot of fishermen, 渔村 at that time. Like we said, it is the first city in China that upon its creation, it followed specific design, every building, every road, where to place everything. Instead of having the city growing on its own a little bit bigger and bigger every day, this city is actually planned out. Everything was planned out at that time. So starting from a little fisherman's village, 渔村, they started to grow into something that is rather towards a picture, I would say, over there. We can see that a little bit later. And for this one, you get to see the hilly area, 丘陵地带. You get to see the German-style architectures and, of course, everyday people's houses. And I would say this is a possibly lady working. I see working women all the time now. And I was talking about the picture over there. That is the perfect impression or perfect depiction of 吴冠中的 this is a replica of a very famous artist in Chinese history. Not the real work, but definitely beautiful. Like I said, 红砖绿树碧海蓝天. You see all four elements right there. And take it home if you want. For some reason, this painting as well as the paintings down here remind me of Italy a little bit. 会让我想到佛罗伦萨. Also with the red brick and red roof and very beautiful scene of the sea and a lot of lovely forest and plantation as well. Let me know if you have the same feeling, if it reminds you of Italy a little bit as well. 我们有很多朋友都说这里好大，是一个很棒的，还有人说像很棒的图书馆。And it's not a library, it's a bookstore. 书店啊，是书店。对，我们现在在2层 This is the second floor. We have some of you saying that 他们是如此多彩. Yes, very colorful. And I think the color of the painting, the depiction of the painting also showcases local people's willingness to pursue love and pursue beauty, which is why Qingdao is a really good place to visit to have your perfect weekend getaway. And in here, if you want to get a serious artwork, you can always get a pillow. That is also a very nice choice. 真的很漂亮，感觉生活很惬意。Very lovely. And 我喜欢美丽的青岛肖像. That's a good way to think about it as well. So Kel saying, I have a friend in China. We were same classmate in Bangladesh. Last 2 years, he has gone to China by scholarships to study in China University. Sometimes I talk to him. You should do that too. Try come here and have further study and probably visit all the different cities with different styles here in China. And if you come to Qingdao, make sure you visit 荒岛书店 as well as visit this lovely art gallery, 嘉木美术馆. Remember, every day in the whole year, 365 days with no rest and free of charge. Okay, so yes, that is a good question that you guys can ask. What is your favorite book? 你最喜欢的书是什么？你最喜欢哪本书？ Which is your favorite book? You can answer that question, and we can continue our journey here in the old town of Qingdao. Since this is our first time having a live stream on Weibo, let's see if you guys have anything to say there. I'm not really sure if you're still following us, because it has been a long time since we have a post on our Weibo account, but still, let's see if you guys are watching and something you guys have to say. I'll check that out a little bit later. Oh, you do have some comments. 韩小跑 saying 青岛是个好地方。是的，青岛非常惬意，环境优雅，而且很舒适。会给你有一种很放松的感觉，而且我觉得如果是可以来到这样的美术馆和书店坐一下午的话，就会觉得人生还是可以很开心的。我的脑子里只有喝啤酒和切嘎了，对，美食很重要。And I'm also talking to many of you here are enjoying our stay here in Qingdao. Thank you so very much. Let's continue our tour. 非常感谢，那我们在别的地方再走走。谢谢，谢谢 ，Thank you, thank you for having us. We'll continue our journey. 谢谢，我们再走一下。Oh, many of you are watching the live stream here on 微博，所以微博上的朋友也可以提问题哦，我会看到，我看到了可以回答，而且我可以说中文，然后 Facebook 的朋友就听不懂，That's the dilemma there. 谢谢，谢谢。Okay, so let's continue to move, and let me show you the sea. We know that Chinese people say 闹中取静, 闹中取静. That's a very lovely saying. 闹 would be very lively, crowded, and a lot of people, populous. And 静 is quiet, quiet. So 闹中取静 carries the meaning of you find a very peaceful and quiet spot in the rather lively and even crowded and noisy kind of area. 闹中取静, 闹中取静. That's what you say, and I think this is the perfect example. In the rather populous old town area, you get to enjoy of peacefulness in this little corner, and that is absolutely fantastic. Now it is 11:40 here in China. 现在是北京时间11:40 in the morning, which is why we are now passing a primary school and people are waiting for their kids to come out. 下学的时间就要到了，放学接孩子 It's a very important part of Chinese people's life. Very important. And yes, this is the 青岛市市南区小学。市南区 Yes, the primary school here, and the parents are standing outside of the gate and waiting for their kids to come out. In many places here in China, when it's off school time, because they wanted to avoid the, let's say, large-scale gathering of kids as well as parents, they are having this kind of scheme or this kind of plan, allowing kids to go off school in different time slots. So even for kids in the same grade, it's possible that they're getting out of school, getting off school time in 3 or 4 or even more different batches, so that they can go out of the school in different time, making sure they don't form a huge crowd. We say 分时段上下学，分时段上下学. So go on and off school or go to and from school in different time slots. 分时段上下学啊，分时段上下学。韩小跑 saying 青岛是个好地方. Thank you. And if any of you guys have any questions or anything you want to say, make sure you say it in all of our platforms. The domestic one being Weibo, and the overseas ones making it the Facebook pages. The CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page, China Plus America, China Plus News, China Plus South
Africa. All these pages, you can find us. And also we're live streaming on YouTube as well today. So for the Learn Chinese YouTube, you can find the live stream and ask your questions. I will answer them. If you like the live stream, please like and share and comment as much as possible. It helps me a lot and also help other fellow Chinese lovers to see the country, to learn it a little bit more, and to enjoy all these fun live streams. So yes, if you have more questions, please let me know. And we see a little bit more comments. Jessica RK saying nice bookstore, 美丽的书店, 美丽的书店, totally agree. And now we're walking to the other end of the 老舍公园, 老舍公园. So that would be a sculpture of 老舍, 有老舍的雕像，我们去看一下。Let's check it out. 老舍 again is one of the most famous writer author here in China, and I remember him because when I was a kid, I read an article about him writing about his cat. 他写过自己家的猫啊。He has a cat and he loves it so much. And the way he describes the cat's life, the cat's way of living, the cat's walking around and putting little footprint on his paper, basically smearing and smashing his handwriting, his art, his work, is still making him very happy. So he's a spoiled dad to the cat. And with his article, I realized the key to write something well, the key to really touch people's heart chord is to observe, to know what you love, to love what you love, and write about what you love. And it's the same thing with sharing Chinese knowledge and Chinese culture. I love what I'm sharing, and that is why hopefully you guys can enjoy it as well. 老舍, 老舍. I think masters are all very interesting people. 老舍is neighbor with Lin Huiyin, who is also a lady, a very important and famous lady. She is again an author and also an architecture, very important in Chinese history. They used to live as neighbors. 他们是邻居啊，邻居 neighbors, and both of them have cats, and their cats fight. 他们的猫会打架啊。And after the cats fight, each owner of the cats, both serious masters in Chinese history, very important people, would get into a quarrel and fight with each other, defending their pet, defending their cats, and they even write articles, attacking each other because they wanted to make sure they're the best parents of their cats and they would not allow their cats to be, bullied by other cats. So the little anecdotes make these people not only the master, the great author, the cultural icon of the Chinese, let's say, modern time, but also real people that have the same interests and same love as us. And I can totally see myself getting into a fight with one of my best friends because his cat or her cat has, fight or attacked my cat. So yeah, that's some very lovely detail, and I loved it so very much. And now to the area where you get to see the beautiful sea, and that would be a evidence, a proof that this is really a beautiful island or semi-island city next to the sea. So let's go check it out. Once we're walking along, you can see the perfect combination of ancient, rather old architectures, as well as the modern, advanced, developed ones. We say 传统和现代的结合。传统和现代的结合。传统 would be traditional, 现代 modern, 现代结合 combination. 传统和现代的结合。The lovely thing about this little that you have the name 慢递 on it. So in Chinese, 快递 would be express, 快递, so delivery. 快 is fast, and 递 is deliver. So 快递 literally would be fast delivery. It means you can get your things delivered really fast. However, this little store is called 企鹅慢地, so this is called penguin slow delivery. So they're saying, we promise we'll deliver your goods, but we also promise it is going to be slow. It's a funny attitude. Let's go across the road and see what are some things there. Like I said, the old town part of Qingdao. Traditionally, it has been the heart of the city, but with the development of some new areas, with some more rather modern area, it started to lost the glory it used to have time, and people started to view this as part of the history, part of their beautiful memory, but they're starting to move to the new area, moving to where it's rather advanced, where you see more stores, more modern malls and modern factories and enterprises. So people have this weird but very understandable, very reasonable nostalgia for this old town part. And recently there has been an initiative bringing or revitalizing the old town of Qingdao, 给老城区注入新的活力, 新的活力. And apparently there are many different moves, many different campaigns making that happen. And actually in a live stream we are going to have tonight, I would say around 7 o'clock tonight, you will be seeing one of the most significant moves here. Make sure you do not miss that live stream. Make sure you stay with CRI Learn Chinese Facebook page, China Plus America, China Plus News, China Plus South Africa, and of course the CRI Learn YouTube page as well as Weibo account to catch that show. It is going to be splendid and glorious, I promise you. So here we are. That's the sea. Very beautiful. Every time I see a water surface like this, I like to teach the Chinese idiom 波光粼粼, 波光粼粼. And let me answer some of your questions. Which day of week, from what time to what time? Yes, because these days I travel around a lot. That is why we are not having fixed the live streaming times. But I can tell you that tonight around 6:30 to 7 o'clock, around that time I'll start a live stream. So make sure you do not miss that. It is going to be amazing. And right now I'm in Qingdao, in the beside the sea area. You are looking at the sea right now. It has been a pier, has been a harbor, and over there there's the new town area, the new city area, but we are here in the old city area right now. We've been walking around in the neighborhood and see people's relaxed kind of lifestyle. Hopefully you liked it. And can I see Qingdao University? Later on we might have some videos show you different places of Qingdao. Hopefully you can enjoy it. And make sure you do not miss the live stream today. And that brings us to the end of today's live stream. If you like the sea, if you like seafood, if you like Qingdao and love culture, make sure you like the live stream and comment and share as much as possible. Thank you guys so very much for being with me here for this lovely 1 hour. And we can see that there are also, we've already asked you the question, which is your favorite book? 你最喜欢什么书? 你最喜欢什么书? What is your favorite book? You can answer that in the comment area. And in order to 抛砖引玉, that is a Chinese idiom. 抛砖引玉 actually means to throw out a brick so that I can lure out some jade, meaning that I'm going to give you some examples and you can answer the question in our comment area. What is your favorite book? I will recommend a book that is called The Courage to be Disliked. The courage to be disliked. 被讨厌的勇气, 被讨厌的勇气. That is a book I am reading recently. It is about building up your inner, let's say, strength. the strength to be disliked, to be able to say no to things you don't appreciate or you don't approve of, and also to make sure that you stick to your own principle instead of being affected too much by other people. 被讨厌的勇气, that's the book I recommend. If you guys have any other book you want to recommend to our friends and to me myself, please leave them in the comment area. And I will continue to read the comment after the live stream, and make sure you stay tuned with Learn Chinese as well as China Plus pages for the show tonight. Thank you so very much. I will see you tonight. Bye bye, guys.